So we've parked up here in a little forest of feverberry trees and a few beautiful leadwood trees, just to get away from a little bit of the wind. It's a nice hot winter's day, and we've just spent 2 amazing days at the brand new Khwai Leadwood. It's African Bush Camps camp, and we're on our way back out of the camp. So we thought we'd park under a tree here and chat to legendary professional guide. Well, Dutch is his name as he's commonly known in the field. Dutch, what is your name as per your ID or your passport?
All right,
wow,
my name
we
is Bihelang
explored
Kasale.
every part of but everybody knows you imagine.
Dutch, yes.
And one thing that stood out that we saw quite a lot of was spotted hyena. And then you told us that the hyena is your favorite animal.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Sure. Not that it's by a coincidence. I just chosen to have a hyena as my favorite animal because of its lifestyle. So, and I've realized since my whole entire guiding that in areas where there are no hyenas, there definitely no life. So whenever you see the hyena around, there should be something. So the hyenas might be heard calling the whole night, then it's not for fun. It's either for their communication or to try and maybe intimidate lions so that they can take over, because they are known as scavengers.
Yeah. So every time you see a hyena, you get excited.
Exactly.
And you say like that? Something's going on.
Yeah. So because the hyenas, they don't have a bank account, and that means so they are not sure of what they will have maybe this evening. So whenever you see them, definitely they might have heard a message that there's something somewhere. So you better follow, don't waste your time.
Yeah. And then we spent quite a lot of time at the den, which is obviously, the den's been there for quite a few years. I mean, you've been guiding here on and off for many, many years. So that den, it was quite interesting because there was pups of multiple ages.
Yes.
Hanging out together. What's the dynamics of the den? How does it work?
The thing is that just like from the elephants, you'll find that the hyenas, they also have the matriarch, which is the leading female, one of the biggest female in the clan, and then with some of the sisters and cousins. So now this one of the reasons we've touched something that I loved when you said I spend most of my time around the den is because I've seen a lot of some amazing behavior around that den, which I did not see anyway, or like when we were
behavior of the hyenas.
Of the hyenas, yeah. So like if you read about the hyenas, it is said that only the matriarch breeding. But if you get to that den, you could see that there are so many pups around that area. So that means some of the subordinates they're also breeding.
And so the small ones were black and furry.
Yes.
And then the bigger ones like kind of had their spots starting to appear.
Yeah. When the hyenas are given birth, you find that for the first few months, up to 3 months, they are completely black. So after 3 months or so, then they start developing some spots around the body, and that's how you can age them. And
so the female is always the biggest. She was huge.
Definitely, yeah. Because the females dominate the males. They're much bigger than the males.
And how deep does the whole? Do you know how deep a hyena den can go down?
So since I've never tried it, but the fact that they use some the abandoned advac burrows, the advac they dig very deep meandering burrows for security, and then you will find that at the same time they also use they share their burrows with the porcupines, and then the porcupines they make a very, very big holes, especially where they roost during the day. So when I was in Kalahari, I happened to visit the Bushmen, and we went to the burrows of the porcupines. We managed to crawl in there. Right at the base, we can stand up. Right at the base.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Stand up.
What if there was something inside the den when you were crawling inside? What would happen?
So I was too scared because I expected some snakes, but then they said that there was a fat. They said it's like from the lion that we applied on our body. They said it's very, very strong, nothing can come and attack us.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what they said.
So that's the local sand. That's a trick that they taught you.
Yeah.
But what was the point of trying to go in there? Why were you doing it?
Yeah, because this is the kind of experience that I wanted to know. For sure, I always see porcupines disappear in the holes, hyenas go in there. Then I wanted to know what is happening in there. And they said, yeah, it's quite easy. We can crawl in there, you can see. Yeah, we went in there with some mag lights, and I saw exactly what is happening.
And you could stand up inside.
Exactly. And funny enough is that it's very clean. No poops in there. It's very clean, yeah.
Amazing. And then, so when the Hyena clan, is that the right word?
Yeah,
clan.
yeah.
So when the Hyena clan are at the den, they looked quite relaxed.
Yes.
Like they were really, the pups were walking around. And the matriarch, she kind of put her head up every now and then again, put it down, put it up. So she was obviously looking for intruders or danger of something. But the pups, super curious. They were like walking around everywhere, like no care in the world. At one point, this elephant came, and one of the bigger ones was like walking after it.
Yeah. But the thing is that it depends. Not only talking about this local den that we have here, but each and every den, that would be the behavior around that area. If it's an area where people always visit, it will depend on how do people approach that area. So now with this one that we have here, we always try and make sure that we put some logs around that den site so that people did not go over the dens. And in so doing, we create environmental friendly around that area. And as guides, we know what are the negative impact should we go closer to the den. That means we might push them out. Now, all this behavior that we apply around this den made them very, very relaxed. So people are always behaving. They don't clap their hands. They don't bang the vehicles. They're always remaining seated in the vehicles. And they're quite friendly to the den.
And they obviously feel relaxed when the vehicle's there and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah, with the matriarch, I mean, looking around. Like we said earlier on, that it's scavengers, there's no time for free. So whenever they're at rest, they need to listen up.
Oh, in case there's an
opportunity. They have to cock out their ears to listen around them if there's a sign of something dying over there, because usually when they hear the distress call of an impala somewhere, they expect of maybe a leopard is catching something or whatever, then they have to quickly run there. If they find something bigger or it's two lions that they cannot intimidate alone, they need to give some of the laughing behavior to try and attract some more hyenas. So that guys come, let's push him out, and then eventually they can take out from the.
So that female, if she had heard something like a distressed animal call, like a impala or something, would she have left those pups or would she stay with them?
What she could have done first, she got up to try and get the right information, and then from there she will mob the pups so that they don't follow her, because if she don't do that, they might trace her and they get lost, or maybe wild dogs or other hyenas find them out there and kill them. So she will make sure that she leave them around the
so she would have chased them all around to make sure.
Yeah.
Put them in the hole, or just
not necessarily that she has to put them in the. As long as they are just around there, and she will give them those warning not to follow her, and then before she can leave.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And if a lion was to come just sniffing around the den and started to come close, what would happen in that circumstance?
Yeah, so what will happen, those tunnels, they are not like one burrow from here to the other side. There are some tunnels which they use as some of the escape routes. But lions and leopard, which will be the main predators, they are not really very good at digging for a long time. So they'll try and dig them out, but at some point they'll be tired and they'll give up. So, but if by a mistake one of the pups managed to use one of the very shorter, smaller burrows, they definitely get it out and kill it.
Wow.
Yeah, like 2 years back, we have a very big male leopard around that area. He kept going there, stalking those pups, pick them, you see him up on the tree there. So then, and I think that's why at some point those hyenas, they moved a bit for some months, and they recently came back.
Wow.
Again, yeah. Probably it was because of that.
But she would try and, I mean, at least that she's such a big, strong female, she would try and fight off anything.
Yeah. If it happens that the lion or the leopard comes while one of the hyenas are there, they'll definitely try and defend the pups, and then they will they'll quickly make a lot of noise so that to attract some of the hyenas who are like hiding somewhere around that area to come and help. Yeah. So because in that clan, they don't necessarily have to stay there because otherwise they will starve. They need to come only when they settle their young ones, and they have to go back into the bush to look for whatever they can find. Yeah.
So, I mean, there are a lot of, I don't know as much about hyenas as you do, but I know there's some fascinating facts about them because they're such unique animals, and obviously they get this reputation. I don't know if it's from the Lion King or whatever it is, but they're like the enemies, and they're bad, and but they are incredibly important in the food chain here,
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
But what is when you're with guests and you really want to amaze them about some fact about a hyena? What's your favorite fact?
Yeah. First, I would like people to know that these stories of hyenas are just scavengers. We are wasting our time. That's old school. Hyenas are the most successful hunters today as we speak, because they don't depend only on following these wild dogs, leopards to steal from them. They hunt for themselves. I'll tell you, in areas where we have a lot of hyenas, like in Savuti, we find that sometimes hyenas are right at the top of the predator hierarchy. Over the lions. They can overpower the lions, take over, and sometimes they can group themselves. They can chase wild beasts just like wild dogs and kill for themselves. So then, whenever I wanna talk about the hyenas, you can't stop me because this is the most amazing animal. They eat almost everything that they'll find. From the insects, frogs, things that the leopard did not manage to work out, like. The pelvis bones, they can crush because they've got those tough teeth, and the fact that they've got that very strong stomach acid that can digest all those bones, like earlier on when you're driving in, did you see the white droppings of the hyena? They just pooped like 3 days back. Already they are turning into whitish colors.
Amazing. So there would have been bones and
definitely
all kinds of things.
And then it's very easy to differentiate the hyena droppings from the leopard and the lion, because they cannot digest fat, but the hyena will work it out.
Amazing. So your challenge every time you're with guests, whatever they say about hyenas, you'll tell them that this is a cool animal.
Because when I would say this morning I had a very successful game drive, is when I've seen a hyena, because there's always a lot of results after following the hyenas. Their movement is not for fun every time. So there's something. There's always an objective. So if you follow the hyena, we'll definitely find something out there.
Remember when we were watching them last night, coming back from running.
Yes.
And you like, what's she up to? Where's he going?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, Dutch, you are what I would describe as a proper guide.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's like we were out there, Julie and I. We were, the thing is, what I love about you is you want to spend as much time out in the bush with your guests as possible. It's not about coming back for brunch or high tea. No, that's awesome. What's out there? Thanks very much, and thanks for the last few days. Honestly, proper good fun. We've explored so much, and really enjoyed.
I also want to appreciate you guys' effort. Your enthusiasm, your energy into the bush, because this is what motivates the guide at the same time. So I have the guests who are not showing any interest into the bush. Then that means sometimes
makes your job harder.
Exactly, because I don't go extra mile, because we still battle with very good interpersonal skills, understanding our guests. But now, if you meet me halfway, it makes my job to be very, very easy. Because now I know I'm delivering this kind of service to someone who appreciates it.
So when you come to Khwai Leadwood, make sure you request Dutch. If you can, I'm sure he's in high demand. Thanks, man.
Welcome. Thank you.